Some people can desire so deeply to be seen. They just want to be seen on a so deep level because what they're so used to is just surface level. So used to that when someone comes along who sees them on that deep level that they truly desire, they mishandle it. Maybe not even intentionally, but it's just they're not used to that, right? Their usual, I'm hearing games or just the way they do things don't work in this situation. Okay, there's a message coming through, and it's that divine is giving someone another chance to do something. And it's like that they've been given another chance before, but they were being shown where they still weren't ready because they stopped themselves, right? And this time it's kind of like, you know, when you the opportunity presents itself, but you wait, you think, oh no, it'll still be there, then it, before you know it's gone. It's gone. And you're wishing that you'd acted sooner. Well, this is an opportunity that's coming through that divine is going to give somebody, and this time it's going to be, you're going to do it and you're going to wish you had done it sooner, but there's a difference in that you're actually going to take that inspired, divinely guided action to do it. So this is really similar actually to a message I did a few months ago. Maybe it's the same collective, but clearly you didn't do the thing at that time then, if that is the same collective. That's what's coming through again. There was a cycle that you were closing out. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but let's just find out. Let's get some information. Who this message is for, and what is your beautiful message, this beautiful collective. It's bringing into action. So this feels like a surprise. It's going to be a surprise. It's bringing into action. It's like a new beginning, right? And it's like divine is going to gift you with this. Okay, so beginnings, rapid growth, opportunity for rapid growth. Okay, it's giving that, you know, the fresh new beginnings energy. It says fertile as well here, so definitely something that can flourish. Okay, new opportunity. But again, I do feel like it's going to be maybe some kind of, there's something, I'm hearing surprise encounter, twin flames there, just under the bottom of the deck. Let's see what comes out on the table to clarify. New beginnings, new opportunity ahead. You have to stop telling yourself that you're not ready. That's a big thing. Scorpio, death card. Okay, so this is about endings, breaking up, total overhaul. Letting go. I do think that someone's had to close out something. Maybe this is what they were still in. They were still being held in a situation, which is why that cycles was coming through clearly. They were in some kind of, I'm hearing a loop that they needed to break free from. And I think that actually there's been patience in allowing whoever this is to let that go, to learn what they needed to learn. They might have a bit of a rebellious nature, whoever this is, which is why they can't be told what to do. They really need, which is again why they really need to pay attention to their lessons, because only they can finally realize they're one of those people you can tell them, they're not going to see it until they experience it themselves. So they're quite stubborn. Element of spirit. So this really is about allowing divine timing. It's timeless. Whatever's happening, it's timeless. You know, you have that energy. It's like everlasting from the beginning of time. Right? Allowing the divine unfold, truly. This says allow, trust, divine timing, timeless, life force, source energy. So divine has really been supporting this, truly. Which is why they're allowing whatever this new beginning is to come through. And it's kind of like you're going to be given the opportunity. Are you going to take that leap of faith? We've shown you before. It's time for you to stop stopping yourself. That's what it feels like. Okay, this literally says yes, it's time, and it's the autumn card. So northern hemisphere is autumn right now. Okay, full moon. Oh my god, is that today or tomorrow? Well, it's an important energy anyway. Culmination, abundance, moving on. Time to move on so you can celebrate your new cycle. Truly, that wants to come through. I just keep hearing element of surprise. I just think there's a new journey happening, and you know, I think that also something that someone's been closing out. It's not something that they had a lot of control over, so even they themselves have had to trust how that's been unfolding. You know, I think I'm getting this energy that a part of them has too much emphasis on fate and destiny. I think that they've had to really learn how they need to harness those reins and understand that they need to take action in the grand scheme of things as well. It's not just an opportunity that can present itself and stay there forever. You have to do something about it. You have to take the aligned actions, which is not easy. The Lovers, Gemini energy. Okay, so alignment, partnerships, love, openness. So it's definitely about, feels like it's about the heart. Got the Queen of Fire there, so that says within 7 days. Let's see what else comes out on the table. Feels very, very, like, feels really now. I do feel really hot doing this. Got the Emperor at the bottom there. Okay, so Sagittarius season as well could be important. Got Temperance, so there's definitely this alchemy and happening, moderation, balance. There's harmony taking place, and I think it's to do with that Lovers card, very much so. And this is what I mean. The Emperor here, that's your divine masculine energy. Takes the action, steps into that leadership role, right? There's a protective energy of what they know they desire to move towards. Okay, yeah, Cardinal, that's literally it. Leader, new beginnings, birthing. It's time. It's time to get going, it says. Putting your ideas into action. Very original. That's come out with that springing energy. So really, really a beautiful time for new beginnings here. And you know that Death card has come out with the Chariot. So when I say someone's so driven to move forward because what they're closing out, then it says total overhaul. They truly, truly have had a complete makeover. Maybe even like their physical body. Maybe they've been doing different things. Their willpower, determination, success, action. You know, someone's feeling the drive. They're ready. So clearly they've been going through some kind of grieving process, ascensions, to see things from a new perspective, new dimensions. Then you've got the Mercury card here, and this is about communication, fast, incoming action, ideas, inspired. And that's all about, that's come up with the trusting the divine timing. So actually maybe there is some kind of communication that somebody needs to make, but someone has been trusting the divine timing of this as well. I'm saying that because I feel like there might be 2 people coming through, but we'll see. Earth sign energy as well. Something has been stuck. Someone's had to learn how to release themselves from something, you know. There's been something that has been, yeah. Wow, oh my God, you've got the yes and no card together. So there's this energy of just being detached, staying in silence and resting. So I'm going to get another one just to confirm that. Got winter time, that's literally autumn and winter together. So these next few months as 2025 closes out are going to be important. Okay, yeah, Capricorn season as well. Winter time, it says Leo, the suns of vitality, success, vigor, purpose. You know, it doesn't say vigor, I don't think, but I think that there's this, this is why that 2 thing came through, the 2 people, just as I pulled these cards, because somebody has been detached. Someone has been allowing somebody to remember who they are. And this might have been going on for a while, actually. Let's find out. The Lovers, let's see. The Devil. And these 2 are, I always say to me in the decks, the Lovers and the Devil are literally opposites. Oh my God, the Empress, Venus, that's come out with these 2 cards. I think someone's really, really find themselves attached, maybe even unhealthily obsessed with this Empress energy. And so instead of handling it in a healthy way, like I said, they've not known how to handle this, right? So they've ended up maybe they've had quite obsessive tendencies, and this is what they've had to really heal through. Strength card, Leo energies, King of Fire now, within 7 to 14 days. This is courage, confidence, wisdom. This is where they're finding that balance then, because this is a Leo and Sagittarius, Strength and Temperance have come out together. So definitely, I think that they're learning what is healthy, what isn't. Because I think that they've got I'm hearing wires crossed for some reason. So I think that they've not really understood how they've felt. Okay, but clearly there's something within the next, it feels really imminent actually. Let's get some tarot and see, let's find out, okay? So, who is this message? What is this message for? Who is this message for? What is this message? Okay, yeah, 7 of Wands. Someone's definitely been overcoming their demons. And I think that they've been really confused about what these are. They've really not had an understanding of these. Knight of Swords, okay. Again, that energy of speedily coming through. Speedily. I think, so this is someone who's operated in haste before. okay, because of these shadowy energies that have been standing in the way. And I think that they've had to do a lot of healing on their inner divine feminine energies, actually, which means that their connection to other feminine energies was probably based off their shadow self, okay? Not the healthiest movement forward. This is why that very beginning, that message, they didn't know how to handle this. Okay. Page of Pentacles. I'm seeing specifically intoxication. So maybe that's something that's relevant. Maybe it connects you both, you know. Something about that's come through. Eight of Swords, yeah, really, really not seeing the situation clearly. And this is what I mean. I think that they've had so many blocks telling them like it's not normal to feel what they're feeling, but at the same time they've not really understood that it's how they're choosing to respond to their feelings that's actually the unhealthy thing that they need to clear through, right? And I honestly think they've got this inspired action with whatever ending, you know, when something finally closes out and you're just like, oh my god, what a relief, finally, that means I can finally move forward. And they've been wanting to move this new beginning that's massively coming through. They've been wanting to move towards this direction. This is why it's like suddenly this energy, this drive, this yes, I'm going in that direction, yes. You know, that vitality, they've needed time to find their vitality, you know. Okay, so we've got the Six of Cups, Nine of Wands, and then Nine of Cups. Okay, 6996 could be important. Yeah, I think that there's something in the past that needs to be cleared out. I think somebody had influences that other people didn't know of. So if this is someone you connected to, you didn't know that this was happening in the background. They want to turn that Nine of Wands into this Nine of Cups. So I think this is someone who's truly hoping, especially with this communication card, they're truly hoping that whatever time has passed, they still have the opportunity to create. They want to alchemize. That's coming through heavy. They've been learning alchemy internally and they want to do that with this situation. Okay. Yeah, High Priestess. They're definitely thinking about the past a lot. High Priestess. And I think that actually, you know how I said like a surprise, something is going to be a surprise. I think that they're very, maybe, I'm hearing guarded, but they've definitely been in silence. There's been retreat mode, okay? But I also think that someone's really tapped in here, like intuitively. Maybe you know what's going on. There's this independent energy, truly independent energy. I think this is where they're kind of thinking, how can I access what's moving forward? And this is also going to be one of the tests where, once again, they're going to be asked that question. We're giving you the opportunity. Divine is, you know, giving you the opportunity. Time to start telling yourself the same story and doing things differently. The Chariot, the Four of Wands, the Two of Cups. Oh, here, okay. So it's possible. They know what they want to move towards. Let's see what else. You can clarify, what do you need? What guidance do you need? Judgment. Yeah, Ten of Cups. Yeah, I don't know. Something's happened recently. Maybe it's changes in the environment. They're seeing other people, you know, having this happiness, these happy families or whatever you want to call it. And they're really seeing things differently. They're understanding what they want. And whatever this is that's been holding them back, that they've had to end, let go of, it's kind of been part of their process of arrival to finally realise what they want. And how they've been stopping themselves, that devil energy that was coming through, okay? Yeah, Eight of Swords. Again, I think this is to do with the clarity conversation, I really do. Eight of Wands as well. So Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands. Yeah, I think there's 100% communication here. And someone wants to be way more grounded than they have been in the past. And I think this is within those next 2 weeks that was coming through before. They want to address the past. I think before they wouldn't want to address the past. They would have wanted to just skim over it like it didn't happen. Let's move on. Now it's kind of like the understanding that you have to address the past in order to truly move on and create firm foundations of stability and trust. Everything we normally speak of. You need to address what went wrong. The things that happened that clearly need to happen to bring up the shadow that needs to be healed through. Okay. I think someone also needs to admit that they've been a bit, I just keep hearing the word obsessed. Obsessed with this divine feminine energy. You know. I think this is another reason why they tried to avoid it, because they were just not seeing the healthiness of like what was happening within. The Four of Wands, definitely that new beginning energy is coming through hot and heavy here. Okay. I think that they were quick to walk away in the past, but I just think that's because they were dealing with their own demons. They were overcoming so much. I just don't think they spoke about this truly openly. You know, again, I think that they truly wanted to, that very initial message, they truly wanted to speak, to be seen, to be vulnerable, but they haven't understood true intimacy. You know, no masks. I think that also they've been really guarded on who they can trust. Five of Pentacles, because they have experienced abandonment in the past. rejection. Maybe they did pour their heart out and they were just left in the cold, you know. This is someone who I think would probably attach quite quickly in connections. So that's another reason why they've stepped back, because I think they have in the past needed someone to be there for them, present. Maybe there's someone who always had someone by them, you know. Maybe not relationships, or always like a connection that they can go to, because it's like their go-to. They feel their safety, their comfort, someone who they can maybe feel the levels of intimacy. They don't allow themselves to go beyond, but to a certain degree, right? So maybe they've had situations or whatever you want to call it, because they need someone to have like an outlet where they still feel some form of safety emotionally, even though it's not fully like vulnerable. So they don't feel alone. They've not been very good at doing, you know, the whole, this is interesting because I think that High Priestess, I was talking about independence. I think it's the divine feminine energy that they're connected to. Very independent, and they've not been like that. So they probably didn't understand her ways, you know. Oh my God, the Emperor. Oh. Okay, interesting. That's because they were in the Emperor energy. Queen of Cups. That's sad. I think that they've, I'm literally seeing, like, I said that they needed to connect to the divine feminine energy. They've got mother wounds here. They have mother wounds. That's what's coming through for this. I'm not sure if it's an estranged relationship with their mother, or whether it was just a really problematic, or maybe there was like a really unhealthy attachment with their mother as well. You know, sometimes mothers can, not always, I'm talking about in these kind of situations, sometimes it can be that they've, you know, your child becomes your partner, you know what I mean? So maybe they were like emotionally offloading on this person, and they didn't actually have the love that they needed. Ended up having to provide that. 9 of Cups. They didn't truly understand what their heart's desires were, because they were overshadowed. Oh my God, the Ace of Cups, just as I said that. That's their heart's desires. Unconditional love. I think that they're seeing the divine feminine in a whole new light, because of everything that I've spoken about that they had to go through. They want this new beginning, and it's from the heart space. Clarity conversations, overflowing love that they want to be honest about, because they're finally understanding their heart, connecting to that divine feminine within. The Moon, Ace of Wands, my God, the Moon, they're understanding their feelings. I think subconscious, I'm hearing subconscious imprint. So clearly there were things that happened that created some kind of trauma. I'm hearing trauma bonding situations for them with others, but also trauma in terms of just not understanding love in a healthy space, you know. Therefore, they were always scared to take that leap of faith where there wasn't what they knew was familiar chaos, you know. Someone who, I think that they're probably attached to people who they thought just would never leave or something, you know. 9 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. Yeah, they've had some serious internal, I'm hearing mental anguish. Like, they're not very, that's like a deep wound. They've clearly had a lot of, the Empress. They've had a lot of mental anguish, right? And I think it's translated into the emotional space. They've kind of the fuse of those two, like they're related, but that's where this Empress has showed up now, because their feelings are actually so, like, from their heart, that they've been so stressed out about it. They've not understood how to handle it. Okay, King of Swords, exactly. King of Swords, 5 of Cups. They've been in regret mode because they've been so guarded. They're so guarded, and they've regretted it. They're understanding clearly then. I can clearly tell that they're understanding that they've been so, it's like they've got this shield, this armor of like this logical kind of got it together, I can handle it, you know. Maybe even like so guarded that they've just been in connections that they can, I'm hearing like, maybe it's a two-way thing, like using and like, you know, whatever you need in that moment to get in it and that kind of energy. But this 5 of Cups is very telling that, and with that 9 of Swords, they have not internally been okay. The Hierophant, that maybe they have sought help, you know. I think they've had to hold it together for other people, but internally they've just been so like, I'm just like so sad. Like, maybe they do suffer from like, you know, depression or things like that, you know. Truly, it's too many cards. Yeah, they've been telling themselves in the story, you know, that kind of thing. King of Wands, you got You know, often when you do have those kind of like mental, the mental anguish that's coming through, even just like generally, you know, you have to really keep on top of that mental health, which I think all humans should. Um, you often have a very close connection to this spiritual self within. You can see things in a way that not a lot of people can. Your third eye is more open, right? You have the ability to access your emotions in a way that not other people can. And clearly, this is someone who's been through some things from a young age. They've had some traumatic experiences, you know, especially on an emotional level. That's created that imbalance, that turning to that shadow energy. Any kind of veil they could find, and this again, it's their self-defense mechanisms, if you want to call it that. You know, the projecting their ego out there, and they were just veils, 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 veils. Veils lifting. Six of Pentacles, Ten of Cups again. With that clarity comes balance. Balance. I think someone's feeling more balanced in their, like, well, I can't even speak, their abundance. And Ten of Pentacles there, so that's confirmation. Their abundance path as well. It's like they've got more, that makes them feel more confident, right? It makes them feel more, more able to give. I think maybe that's another thing. They see worth to do with material gain, maybe success in that respect. Oh my God, guess what keeps coming out? This Nine of Cups is finally actually come out on the table. We've got the Two of Cups here as well. So I think, this is it. And this is where that Six of Cups is coming, Six of Pentacles is here, because clearly someone wants to bring balance to the situation. They've been sitting in sadness. This is why that opportunity is coming out yet again by divine to say, we bring it to you again. And that doesn't happen often. Pay attention, whoever this is, pay attention. Equal cups of love in the heart space. You know, reciprocated. The awakening is real. Oh my God, Queen of Pentacles just came out. I got the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Ooh, earth sign energies. Okay, wow, that's grounded. That's high level commitment. That's like, let's do this. We're both going to invest in this. Very mature energy. So clearly there's going to be a shift here. But, oh my God, the Empress again. But you're going to have those conversations. And I see that happening. It's just you're both going to have to recognize that when your veils are coming through, when that shadow is wanting to present itself, clearly you trigger this out. Yeah, the Five of Wands. There's jealousy is a big thing here. Both of you. Be mindful. Be mindful of making up stories in your head. Again, that Ace of Wands, passionate energies. It's like the passion wants to come through, but there's just some stuff that needs to be cleared out the way. And stop making up stories in your head about, oh my God, who else is there? What else is there? Third people, karmic energies. That needs to be cleared through. That's going to happen with the right conversations as well. But you can't just go in that energy. If somebody experiences jealousy, you need to come, again, that's your inner inner wounded feminine energy that needs to be healed, okay? Page of Swords, someone may be literally watching, well, they're not doing themselves they're doing themselves a disservice in doing that, because they literally think that they're seeing something that they're making up in their mind, okay? So, again, even if it is the truth, the devil, led by their shadow, self-worth, even if it is the truth, you need to have the conversation to clear through and understand where that's come from, why that's happened, because clearly, whatever happened in the past hasn't been addressed properly for this obsession energy that keeps coming through to still be lingering, right? Yeah, Two of Swords. This is what stops someone. They see themselves, maybe they see themselves as not worthy as well, because she's coming out as the Queen of Pentacles, but also, and they have the Page, but also I think that they're seeing, it's almost like they're thinking, oh my God, will I have to compete for this? You know, what if I'm not good enough? They need to understand the Hierophant here. They need to level up. It's got nothing to do with the external person that they want to move towards. It's everything to do with what is happening within. Because no matter what that person is doing in their life, what their situation is, who have you become? Who are you being? What are you choosing? Because that determines way more than you realise on this path. Okay, so that indecisiveness, it's like you're waiting, you're putting a lot of pressure and expectation on the external Four of Wands on this sacred union, which means you haven't found it within you. But you wouldn't be putting that pressure outside. Yeah, of course you're going to naturally feel a bit like, oh, you know, how's it going to go? You know, feel a bit nervous. But at the same time, you come back to yourself and you don't think that your worth is based on whether or not they say yes or no or whatever it is. And you take accountability for the part you took as well. You know, a two-way thing. This feels like the energy that's coming through though. Okay, could be someone you're connected to. Five of Swords, exactly. I think there's something that needs to be addressed. Conflict maybe, misunderstandings, miscommunication is big. Miscommunication, definitely. Yeah, the Hierophant wanted to come out. Hanged Man. It's been a while. There was a lack of groundedness wherever this is. Someone needed to step up and be that person, you know, that divine masculine energy and really doing the right thing. And this is not what happened. And they're going to have to be honest about that. The King of Wands literally just flipped out in my hand. This is what I mean, ego-led. They were ego-led. They were led by the validation that they were experiencing and receiving. You know, I'm looking at that King of Fire that was there, the deck. The Star. Healing. I think this is what I mean by someone's going to come through and they're going to be feel very, it's like this renewed sense of confidence. Because it is that courage that's going to drive them, that spark of courage to take this leap of faith, to see the opportunity as divine presents it. Because sometimes you can literally, it just bypasses you. So they're going to need to pay attention. And when they feel safe enough, that's when they're going to truly express themselves. When they know that they're in that with that Queen of Cups energy, that heart space is open, that warmth, that openness that was coming through with the Lovers card. That's when they're going to be able to feel safe enough to say, okay, I want to bring balance to this. Again, the Four of Wands. Okay. Wow. The Empress. Oh my God. Wow. This divine feminine energy, truly, they're put on a pedestal. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. Oh my God, can I say anything else? Like, that is ultimate abundance. Success. Six of Wands. Justice, the Two of Cups, the Wheel, just divine justice coming for this Empress energy. It is potential for happiness, true emotional fulfillment, but then you need to know your worth. It's not just about accepting someone who comes along suddenly because you've been waiting for them. It's about recognizing, hold on, are your actions matching you? What are your words? Number one, where's your authenticity? You know, where's the accountability? Where's the masks of vulnerability? And are your actions matching that? Not just for the sake of it or the fun of it or just for the short term until eventually you become scared again and you run away. Like, not that. Truly holding it down. Two-way thing. You both need to have the right conversations. Really important. So with the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, clearly the new beginning that wants to come through is this new cycle. And it's literally you saying, I'm ready for my happiness, highest timeline, if you want to call it that, right? You're recognizing your worth, but it needs to come with this alignment with what's happening here. Do you know what I mean? Aligned actions as well. I think there's something about recognizing when there's attachment that comes through. Because don't forget that jealousy energy was coming through for both of you. So it's kind of like checking yourself, you know. And again, it's going to be the right conversations, being honest, which is not easy, you know, when you're trying to tell someone that you feel vulnerable because of whatever it is, maybe it's external parties that you've experienced in the past or whatever. And look what I've been saying this entire time, heart-to-heart conversations. It's happening, soul deep level. Could resonate as being a soulmate or just a really soul deep connection, okay? I think this is where you need to be honest about how you feel about your connection and what the connection is, because it's different. Like I said at the very beginning, you know, somebody wanted this being seen on that deep level and they couldn't handle it. Deception. There were masks worn. You know, maybe, like I said, they did turn to energies that felt more comfortable, what they're more used to. New cycle of love wants to come through. You're going to have to remove the masks. And there's going to need to be honesty about why somebody was in that more unhealthy, why the separation occurred, because they were in that unhealthy energy, whatever they were overcoming. It's there. I think this is something they're going to have to be honest about. You're being this guidance right now. I feel like there's two things coming through. Divine Feminine, the guidance is coming through for you now to be prepared so that you're not in triggered mode or, you know, too many expectations. But Divine Masculine energy, this is coming through to be like, this is about you being honest, understanding that you have it within you to step into that higher energy, loving yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I think there was a lack of that in the past, which is why the separation, you don't realise that sometimes. You just want to give, maybe, or you want to, whatever it is. But there was a lack of self-respect. And I don't think you realise that. I think that you were just thinking, there's this energy of just wanting to clear the air that's coming through, but somebody wasn't ready to do that. So you have to really have that lesson of learning how to call that energy back to you. Honeymoon. Holiday time. So, you know, Christmas into New Year could be really important. Maybe you're going to be spending time together. Maybe you have a memory of spending time together, and maybe that's why it's cycling back around. You know, tens are coming through heavy. Could be one of those full circle moments. Healing family issues that has been taking place. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through for you. What is your guidance? Yeah, once again, expressing love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. I think someone really wants to have the conversation. More than anything, they want to open up this space to say, can I come in? Can we communicate? Are we on that level again? Forgiving and learning. And that's been happening, I think, with during this separation energy that's coming through. Someone's been having to learn how to forgive a lot. Themselves and a lot of different things that have been taking place. I'm going to get some cards for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, and then clearly this connection that wants to come through. Yeah. Oh. Got the masculine energy straight away. Oh my God, they want to speak. They don't want to hold back. They want to speak. They want you to know what's going on. I think that because they've realized this is the only place they're going to have that true, that love that was coming from the beginning. They're truly being seen. Okay, so this come out with the mice, which tells me that clearly this is somebody who, again, that Nine of Swords energy, they're still not out of it. They're stressed. Maybe they've been feeling unwell. They've had a lot of that around them. They've been fatigue, loss, decay. They've had some kind of, maybe even, like I said, they had to end whatever that is, the attachment, the obstacle that was in the way. They're still kind of clearing and healing from that, clearing through that energy, you know. Oh my God, look at that. Trophy, and then you've got the feminine energy at the bottom of the deck. Oh my God, success, win, victory. Oh, wow. That's really interesting. 31. Recognition, goals, merit, fame, deserving an award, ambition, achievement, key experience, success, reputation. Again, I think their reputation has been a big deal, you know, in terms of, like, that King of Wands did come out, right? So it's kind of like they've been running off external accolades, and that's been their driving force, but they're understanding that this has just worn them out. They might have even experienced burnout, you know. Maybe they were like so stubborn that they didn't allow themselves to experience it, right? But I think that they're seeing the Divine Feminine, and Divine Feminine has it within her to magnetize, right? It's like she has this glow, and it's kind of like they're wondering, where did they go wrong? What decisions did they make? But like I said, they were operating from this shadow, the devil energy. You know, again, that's why your inner union is so important, finding that inner balance. Okay, so Divine Masculine energy. Got a win coming though. I think this is going to help them to feel more confident as they take this leap of faith. This opportunity, when it presents itself, is going to give... Before, it might have been that, again, feminine energy, it might have been that they were so taken by the external accolades that they didn't even recognize the opportunity that Divine was presenting to themselves. Their ego was in the way. Dark to light, the torch. Fully engaged, courage, forging ahead. Number 4, standing up for truth, passion, justice, freedom, bold. They're really going to bring out the stops when it comes to, you know, that energy within them, that King of Wands, that lion. They're going to really draw on that energy to move forwards here. Again, the feminine energy, they might have multiple feminine energies in their life as well, where they've had to learn a lot of lessons. Okay, but I do think that their Divine Feminine is heavily on their mind as they move forward, especially as they're now experiencing success and they're seeing it in a new light. It's like they want to, it's like I'm hearing winning together, celebrating together. Wow, it's like they realise that is the only person that could truly be like that and do this with. Yeah, look at this, the birds, nervous communication, very nervous. Don't get to have that, you know, that mice energy as well, that Nine of Swords, so they do get it in their head a lot. Karmic energy is Wheel of Fortune. This is an internal thing they need to close out. The lack of vulnerability, intimacy, scared of fearing intimacy. 12-7, communicating, negotiating, crafty. That says chatty. Why does it say crafty? Maybe they have been, and that's what they need to be honest about. Maybe they've been trying to communicate in ways that are just sneaky. Okay. Debate, discuss, flighty, nervous, ADHD, making contact, noisy, texting and calling someone. They're going to be really off. Getting this fidgety energy, you know, like, oh my God. Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Fate, karma, cycles, forces of the universe. Getting what you deserve is out of your hands. Destiny, synchronicity. This is when you need to just surrender. Let go, surrender. This is why that no came out with that yes. It's like you need to know the difference between detaching and taking action. That's what someone's been learning. Another one for the Divine Masculine. Oh my God, the Celtic knot. Another one for the Divine Masculine energy. They're understanding. They're learning about divine loves, divine unions, that kind of thing. Okay, Archer. They're on target. They know exactly what they want to go towards. They're aiming. And this is why they've got that victory. They've got victory on their mind, truly. That's what leads them, drives them. Number 1, careful aim, on target, focus, matchmaker, quick, direct, go to guy, shooting straight, precise, implementing a strategy. I'm also hearing that maybe they were around different people, garden, that community, who tried to, get them to connect with other people, matchmaking energies. I don't think that was driven by a healthy space. Okay, divine feminine. And this is another thing they're seeing clearly from, that they were not before. Oh my God, straight away. It was trying to come through the divine masculine, it didn't, but divine feminine got it straight away. The Celtic knot. Oh my God. 24, unconditional love, legendary, divine union, eternal love, infinity, enduring, connected love of a lifetime. That means this divine feminine energy, especially coming out as the Empress twice on the table, you truly have been gaining that inner union. It's like you're ready for the next step. But you're also you're that high priestess. You're not a fool. Like, you know when there's certain blockages in the way. You can see them when the shadow comes through, when the veils of illusion are trying to come through. Or at least you're quick at understanding that, obstacles, there's some things that still need to be healed. And that's okay. That's what happens, especially when you come into connection with whoever. You have these obstacles that you still need to heal through together. Together, that's the key word. Because you have your own individually, which is your responsibility and accountability to take. But then you obviously to come into this beautiful Celtic knot energy, unconditional love together. It's a two-way thing, reciprocated. So what's been in the way? Time to release those blockages. Obstacles, problems, distance, solitude, pride, blocked, indifferent, cold, barrier, interruption, delay, stubborn. Maybe you experience this from that divine masculine, and this is kind of what's on your mind a lot. You're going to need to clear through that as well. That doesn't mean you let someone get away with treating you poorly at all, no. But you need to not hold on to it so tightly that it's just creating a problem every time when someone truly does want to come through and clear through it. This is where you learning how to let go and surrendering in divine timing, in the flow, is so beautiful. And in knowing your worth. Because that's when the divine masculine truly come through as a divine masculine. You're not going to accept anything less. Be mindful of what you think. Again, that was coming through before. Be mindful that you're not creating obstacles, thinking that this thing's happening. Maybe they have an unknown presence with that it's confusing you, making you think that there's something else in the mix that actually isn't the case. Okay, I think someone truly, this divine masculine energy, has been healing through their family stuff, and this has come out for you because you're finding some kind of internal comfort. You're finding your own safety within yourself. Again, you're in a divine masculine energy. Maybe something about family is coming through for you as well. That's been a bit of an obstacle, from you moving towards. You've had some karmic cycles to do with your family, actually, generational, maybe even. But truly, this is, removing that comfort, that safety. And sometimes that looks like the familiar chaos that you grew up with. Okay, structured. Boundaries, very important, okay? Family might be on your mind, divine feminine. So there's been some kind of ending here. Maybe someone had genuine experience of loss here, okay? Because it was shocking, whatever this is. But I also feel like you're going to be freed from some kind of mistruth. You're going to finally understand the truth. So maybe you thought there was a block, but it wasn't after all. Okay, the moon. Something has been hidden from you. Something truly has been hidden from you. That's a divine feminine energy. So maybe the full moon that was coming through before, those energies are really important for you. Sensuality, artistic energies as well coming through. The psyche. Okay, divine feminine, another one for divine feminine. Just to clarify, I think you're going to need to clear through your own internal blockages here. You're going to be shown where your subconscious mind is still kind of in the way, blocking you from that true ultimate abundance, happiness, joy, fulfillment, 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles, okay, 2. Wow, just as I said that, look at that, the lighthouse and the ball and chain. The heavy burdens that you place on yourself. You're the lighthouse, your inner guidance system, your safe passage is you, your inner knowing. I told you, that high priestess. Maybe your lighthouse for other people as well. This is that ball and chain, heavy, weighed down, restrictions, burdens, addictions. Again, codependency could be a thing, your unhealthy attachments, okay? So difficult relationships, that kind of thing. Going to need to work on it. Let's get a card for your connection. Card for the connection. Okay, there's definitely some emotion that's going to need to be cleared and aired. And with that beautiful ring of keys, there's a change of heart. That says transition and new beginning as well. So, there's There's definitely some masks that need to be removed here. There's not a truth. The truths haven't been told. In terms of the feelings, the bottled up feeling. Both sides, I want to make that clear, both of you. Okay, this is where there's going to be that change with the keys. Maybe you connect online. That Milky Way keeps coming through. And actually, maybe your connection is going to be expansive online. Maybe you're going to have a presence. You're going to have exposure here. But I do think there's something about online that's important. Maybe you met online. Maybe there's just something about that. Number 27. Access of many opportunities, change of heart, power, freedom, hidden knowledge, multiple choices, in control, transition, new beginnings. Your connection is going through a transition, and what's going to help is releasing these teacups, these emotions that are within. Again, comfort's important to both of you. Maybe there's a lot of Taurus energy here, earthy energies. There's going to be a need to reflect on what happened. And I think that there might be some kind of cultural differences here as well, okay? So 14, mask, disguise, concealed, ego, projection. Both of you, though, need to see where you're projecting as well. Hidden motives, persona. I think that maybe you've been telling yourself these stories. You don't need to clear the air, okay? Performance, theatre, presentation, putting on a show. I think actually, again, that King of Wands putting on a show. So don't believe everything that you see. Not everything that you think you're seeing, especially online, is real. And that's easy to say, but especially if you've been hurt by what you've seen, but there's clearly something that you've not understood. Milky Way, and it's a two-way thing as well, I'll make that clear. You might be going to the theatre together as well. Something about theatre today has come through. Networking, marketing, internet fame, expand, spotlight, innumerable, social media, publicity, connected, exposure. Let's get another one for your connection. Keys are important here. They're an important sign for you. Another one for your connection. Light bulb, the epiphanies, the realizations, the aha moments, okay? Reveal, realize, enlightenment, illumination, invention, breakthrough, discovery, intellect. Again, that mind, clearing through that mind. Rider, message is coming full, this literally says green light, full speed ahead. That's what I meant by there's going to be that energy, number 1 and 9. Travel, you could be far away, you need to move. And I did say there's something about that holiday time that was coming together, spending time together. Progress, and this could happen if now you address this divine opportunity in the right way. Checking your shadow, honesty, vulnerability, less heavy expectation, news. You could be getting some kind of news, full speed ahead. Wow, connection. Yeah, anchoring it down, grounding it in stability, security. 35 and 9. Stable, persevering, long-lasting, persistent. Someone wants to make the effort here, truly. Secure. And once they know that they have that safety, that space, they're going to want to. Fortitude, advantage, enduring. I don't think this is someone who you can... Enduring, that says enduring as well, actually, at the bottom of the deck. This is not someone who is easily going to just... They want to know that they also have that effort being put into them, because I think that in the past, like I said, they poured out too much. They didn't have the healthy boundaries, and they were left hurt. Okay, so message cards. Let's just get some message cards quickly, and then we can end the reading. Ooh, okay, interesting. Number 7, karmic ties. I've been giving, literally as I said that, I've been giving my power away to people in my life. I'm learning to get boundaries. Literally as I said that. That's clarity right there, confirmation. Okay. Oh my God. The only 11-11 card in here. We are coming into union. Whoa. So clearly you're both awoken to your connection, and also you're, I think that you're focused. You know, you know what you want. You know what you deserve. You're not just waiting around or anything. You're giving yourself what you deserve. You're following your path of purpose. You're understanding. You've been through the whole recognizing the signs. Now it's really about getting real. This is your reality now. It's not just something in the ethers. Okay. Wow, so you're going to have to keep doing what you're doing, because clearly it's working. Okay, message cards, let's see what else. There's anything else that wants to come through. God, you got Celtic Knot and the 11-11 card. Okay, number 3. These feelings overwhelm me and I become afraid. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. Yeah, learning how to handle the emotions has been one of the biggest messages that was coming through from the beginning, right? Communication, number 1. I wanted to send you a message today, but I'm afraid to. I don't know if you want to hear from me or if I can say the right things to you. Fear is such a big deal. That devil energy, that was between the lovers and the divine feminine at the very beginning. Remember, I miss you. Let's stop running away. This is one of their biggest karmic cycles. Vulnerability. Being vulnerable. Okay, communication number 11, 111. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterwards I'm not even sure why I said them. And you know, sometimes that happens when you're in this kind of deep soul connection. You just say things, you're like, oh my God, I wouldn't say that to anyone else, you know. Why did I just say that, you know? Okay, union card. Number 4, you are my true love, my heart and my soul. Wow, that's so beautiful. So clearly, it's just that path towards union right now that you clearly are, okay? So the card that was on the bottom of the deck as well, of the messages. So it's a mirroring card, okay, number 3. I've watched you change and grow so much. That online thing's important. You must have an online presence. I'm trying to release my attachment to identity so I can change to that ego, the masks. King of Wands. Number 14. Okay, wow. Powerful. Okay, so there are heart-to-heart conversations coming, and I think it's within the next 2 weeks, okay? For whoever this specific collective is for, the opportunity is going to present itself by divine. This is why this is coming through this message now, for you to be prepared, to be ready. Not the guards and the triggered energy, the reactivity, being in check of that, recognizing it and allowing yourselves to truly be vulnerable and create that space for each other. Because the abundance cycle that can come through here, 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups, it's time to end that 10 of Wands. Put down that heavy burden. Step up. You've got the opportunity to do things in the right way now towards that new, beautiful coming into union energy. There's also this energy of not losing yourself in this connection. So you're going to need to stay on top of those boundaries and respecting each other. It's recognizing the lines with each other, because you're going to learn that as you evolve together as well with this connection. Remember, you've got some healing to do together as well, which makes sense when you come together, because clearly there's some things that need to be cleared through, okay? Something about the home environment, or even just family, is important here. So you're going to need to allow each other space to clear through that, because there's something happening here. Maybe even living with family, that kind of energy. Again, cultural differences, okay? There's something about that. Remember, this is taking someone courage to move forwards. However, courage can be short-lived, so they're going to need to match, like I said, the actions. But also, when it comes through, recognize how you're responding. Are you getting super excited, or are you still staying grounded in your alignment, recognizing what you're worthy? Yeah, okay, you know, obviously it can be nice to see someone's, you know, but it's about bringing yourself back to center. And there is some kind of obstacle that needs to be overcome, and it is to do with some kind of false information. You need to clear that through, okay? And that's what's you're gonna have the opportunity to do this, truly. So be mindful, be careful how you're handling the situation, but you've got this clearly, okay? Sending love.